it's Dan with Master the Morning So You Own the Day. In medicine, we know that prescription before diagnosis is malpractice, so we ask better questions to get better answers. But if we go into the doctor's office and only describe the pain, if we only focus on the symptoms, most of the time the doctors can never diagnose us properly and help us relieve the pain. In life, we must do the same thing. Too many of us refuse to scratch where it itches. Let me give you an example. You blow out your knee, and in our culture, be a big boy, don't cry. It's a sign of weakness to seek help. And so what do? We work it out, and pretty soon that knee injury becomes so painful that we start to limp, which now causes back pain. And finally, when the back pain becomes so excruciating, what do? We finally break down and go to a back doctor who can't fix anything. Again, we must scratch where it itches. If your nose itches, you don't scratch your elbow to relieve the pain. So instead of us focusing in on what we think is causing the pain, may I challenge all of us to take a deeper dive and figure out what is really causing that pain and then fix that thing that is really, truly broken. Case in point, I played football for all those years, 13 years. I was paralyzed in a tackling drill, paralyzed for 14 months, and my life hit that downward spiral until I thought I was depressed. And now that I've recovered and I look back on the lessons learned, the true cause of the pain was not depression. I didn't have a chemical imbalance where I needed medication. What I discovered, there's a giant difference between being depressed and being disappointed, a huge difference between being depressed and being discouraged. When most of us think we're depressed, really what we're experiencing is halts, hungry, angry, lonely, tired, or sad. And when we can actually fix the real cause of our pain, the so-called anxiety and depression fades away. Even with something as serious as PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Why? The new science indicates that it's not a disorder or a syndrome. We only call it PTS. And it's not exclusive to the military like we think it is. Every single one of us has experienced post-traumatic stress at some degree, at some level in our lives. So what we need to do is look at it as an injury, knowing that no matter what part of our body is injured, if we go through the proper steps of rehabilitation, the part of our body that was injured becomes stronger than it was before we injured it, which also applies to a broken heart, which also implies